Okay, have you ever wondered how your phone, your car, or pretty much any piece of modern tech just works? Well, today, we're diving into the invisible art that makes it all possible. We're talking about system integration.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Your car has an engine from one team, a transmission from another, an infotainment system from a third. Your phone has a camera, a battery, a processor, all designed separately. The magic, and the absolutely massive engineering challenge, is getting all those pieces to play nicely together.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the sheer scale of this challenge, the billion-part puzzle. Then, we'll define what system integration actually is. After that, we'll walk through the 4 key steps, check out the different strategies you can use, and finally, see how this whole thing plays out in the real world. Let's start with the puzzle.
All right, first things first, you gotta get your head around the scale here. We are not talking about a simple jigsaw puzzle. We're talking about millions of lines of software code, thousands of physical components, all built by different people in different places that somehow have to come together in perfect harmony.
You can think of any complex product as this giant, elaborate tower. Every single component is a block. Now, if just one of those blocks is flawed, or if it doesn't quite fit with the one next to it, it's not just a minor bug. The entire tower can come crashing down. The stakes are just incredibly high.
So how do you stop the tower from falling? Well, that's where this powerful engineering discipline comes in. It's called system integration, and it is the methodical, disciplined playbook for taming all that complexity.
So at its heart, system integration is literally the process of putting all the pieces together. The Lego analogy is perfect, right? You've got all these different plastic bags full of bricks. Integration isn't just dumping them all on the floor and hoping for the best. No, it's the instruction manual that tells you exactly which bricks to connect, in what order, to actually build the thing on the box. And that really gets to the core of it. It's not just about snapping things together. The real goal is making sure that the final product, whether it's a new app or a new car, works exactly the way it was designed to.
This whole process really boils down to 3 critical goals. First, are all the parts compatible? Does this new camera actually fit with the phone's circuit board? Second, do they work like they're supposed to? When you hit the button, does it actually take a picture? And maybe most importantly, find the problems early. You want to spot a tiny crack in the foundation before you've built the whole skyscraper on top of it.
Okay, so we've got the what and the why, but what about the how? How does this actually happen? Well, it's not chaos. It follows a very clear, very logical 4-step journey to get from a pile of parts to a finished, working system.
Now, the first thing to get is that integration is not a single event. It's a progressive build. You can see it here. It's like climbing a ladder. You start with the most basic little pieces, you methodically assemble them into bigger chunks, and you test at every single step as you climb your way up to a complete, fully validated system.
And here are those 4 steps. Step 1, you get the parts. Step 2, you start putting them together. Now, steps 3 and 4, verify and validate, they sound similar, but the difference is absolutely crucial. Verification is checking your work against the blueprints. Validation is making sure the thing you built actually solves the problem it was supposed to solve.
And here's the best way to remember it. Verification asks, are we building the product right? Does it match the technical specs? Validation asks the bigger question, are we building the right product? Does this thing actually do what the user needs it to do? Because you can perfectly engineer the wrong solution, and this process is designed to make sure that never happens.
So, putting all these pieces together, it's not a random activity. It is a huge strategic choice. Think of it like this. There's more than one path to the top of the mountain, and the route you decide to take has massive consequences for your budget, your timeline, and your risk.
And the most fundamental choice really comes down to this. Are you going to do a big bang, where you try to connect everything at the very end in one giant step? Or are you going to take an incremental approach, where you add and test things one piece at a time?
And of course, each one has its pros and cons. The Big Bang strategy is like trying to build a whole car and only turning the key to start it at the very, very end. I mean, if it doesn't start, good luck finding the problem. It's a nightmare. Incremental approaches, whether you build from the big picture down or the small details up, let you test as you go. It's way easier to find faults, but it takes more planning, and sometimes you need these little placeholders, or stubs, to fake the parts you haven't added yet. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. It all depends on the project.
This just brilliantly shows the power of a smart strategy. On the left, you've got this messy web. That's what happens when you just randomly connect things. It's total chaos. But on the right, by thinking ahead and grouping related parts together, you create a much cleaner, more organized process.
You have fewer things to test at any one time, which makes finding errors way, way easier.
Now, it's easy to hear all this and think it's just for, building spaceships and complex robots. But the truth is, the principles of system integration are working all around us, in places you would never, ever expect.
See, a system element isn't always a physical thing. When a bank rolls out a new mobile app, yeah, they're integrating software, but they're also integrating customer service scripts, new databases, and even the roles of the bank tellers. When two huge companies merge, they're integrating entire corporate divisions and leadership teams. The principle is exactly the same. Manage the connections between the parts so the whole thing works.
And here is why this is all so non-negotiable. Studies have shown that even the absolute best, most highly trained professionals make small mistakes about 3% of the time. Now, in a system with 1 million parts, that's 30,000 potential failures. System integration isn't just a process. It's a safety net. It's designed with the core assumption that humans will make mistakes, and its job is to catch them before they turn into a catastrophe.
So, the next time you pick up your phone, or launch an app, or use any piece of tech that just seems to work flawlessly, maybe take a second. Because you're not just using a device, you're experiencing the final result of the invisible art of assembly, that silent, incredibly complex process that holds our entire modern world together.